spy. He's just a well-traveled, brave journalist busting down the doors of hate by traveling through 5 Muslim countries and writing about it. Please welcome Michael Bassin to the show. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for being here. I love your story. I mean, like, how do you go from, you know, Ohio, do I call it middle America, but cold Ohio, to, you know, ultimately being here in the Middle East? Like, what was that whole big purpose all about of leaving the nest?
So I think that leaving the nest is actually something that I was inculcated to do based on a lot of the Jewish values that I was raised with. I was raised in a Jewish household by some very nice and supportive parents who were supportive. Nice parents supportive of my adventures. I was raised during the time of the Oslo peace process. I always learned a lot about Israel, and I was always taught that to be a Jew meant to pursue peace.
That's
and
right.
To be pro-Israel means to pursue peace.
That's right.
Regardless of your political ideology. When I was in high school, was when the second Palestine Intifada erupted, and 2 of my best friends in high school, one was Israeli and one was Palestinian, and despite a lot of the balagan that would happen around us, the 3 of us maintained a really close, awesome friendship.
So what a basis. It's like a model UN that was serving as a basis for this, but like what made you, so with this, you went as far as like, you know, I did my semester in Spain, and I was there when the Gulf War started, like the first day of the first Gulf War, but like you went like somewhere that American Jews don't usually go. So tell us about this, studying abroad in United Arab Emirates, of all places.
So I studied abroad in the UAE and as well as Egypt, a lot of ways because I thought that it was really important for me to get to know people in the Arab world, because one day I did actually want to move to Israel and to be able to play a role in Israel's relationships and the dialogue with other Arab countries. I felt that if we're so committed to reaching out to the other side, then I had to take this very literally and actually go there and do it myself.
100%. It's
so
like we gotta walk our walk, not talk our talk, right?
Not just that, but the real question was, you can go to these countries, but do you talk about who you are?
That's right. So yeah, so this is, so the whole concept of I'm not a spy is because like everyone thought you got a shaved head, you look tough, you're American, they can't understand why you're there. Do they think you were like a Mossad agent and you had to always be like, have a sign saying I'm not a spy?
So the reason they actually thought I was a spy was because I told people I was Jewish. I told people I was Jewish.
So they just assume you're Mossad.
They didn't actually say Mossad. They knew I was a spy. They didn't know who I was a spy for.
They knew you were a spy.
And the reason why people thought I was a spy was because the concept of a nice, upstanding American Jew coming
from the Midwest with nice values,
coming to study and engage and try to promote peaceful dialogue just didn't compute. It's not based on anything that they ever learned about Jews or Israel. So the only logical conclusion was that I must be a spy.
Amazing. So the book, how proud are you of this? This is like, I'm like, how did you sit down and write the book? So you literally had to take drastic measures. You made Aliyah out of Israel, you did the IVF, but like you had to like hole yourself up like that movie with Kathy Bates.
I did, yeah.
What was that movie called? With James Caan and Kathy Bates.
So
who was the writer?
Oh, I don't know who it is.
Oh, it's going to drive me crazy. No, it was a movie. It's the only reason I saw it. But anyway, you have to lock yourself in small quarters to get it done.
When I was actually having the experiences, I really wanted to blog. But I wasn't able to because I was worried I could be locked up in jail or deported from the country. In that case, I wouldn't get my university credit. But I took very meticulous notes, which kind of served as the backbone of the book. And then my last 6 months in serving the IDF in the Kfir Brigade, I spent all my free time and guard duty. Don't tell anyone that. Just taking down notes. And then I went back to the United States after I finished the Army, spent a full month just typing up these notes and organizing them, and another 9 months sitting in my parents' basement just inflicting a lot of torture on myself.
So your parents like just sitting there like, dude, why do you need to do this? Could you just come back to the comfort of the nest, of like, you know, like did they think you were mad and worried about you all the time?
So I told them a lot of these stories after I finished up the experiences. You know, my father specifically said, if you come back with Lebanese and Syrian passport stamps, I'm going to put your head on my stick. Okay? So I didn't tell them these things until after I came back.
Right.
So.
But they still knew you were there.
They knew I was there. And then all their friends thought they were crazy. You know?
There you go, but still, you're doing a lot. So what's it like being in Israel? Like, you know, having to push a book, you're an American, and you know, what you've written is very topical. Like, is it hard to get it out there, like, you know, being here, working, you know, abroad?
Not as much as you would think. I think there's a lot of benefits to this thing called the internet, and to, you know, television, newspapers, etc. I think that if, you know, like Herzl said, if you will it is no dream. I had my experiences. I've pushed the story out to the world all through a lot of my own efforts, as well as the support of my friends and family. And now when it comes to promoting the book and getting it out there, you know, I'm available to speak at different venues. I go on frequent trips abroad. There are different reviews coming out. Facebook ads campaign. Sorry if you've seen the ad more than once on your Facebook feed. And I'm kind of still trying to figure it out. I've done a lot of these experiences without any real guidance and just trying to learn by doing.
But that's the point. It's going to just guide you naturally. Thank you.
Hopefully, yeah.
All right. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Congrats.